when I go on to the benefits of successful co-parenting, let me give you just a few of them. Number one is you minimize the child's exposures to conflict and anger and all these atrocities. And by doing so, there's a very low, or there's at least a lower risk that they will mimic you and role model you, because that hostility and that aggression, they sometimes repeat it in their own relationships.
That's right.
It's important that you encourage a strong parent-child relationship. Your son or your daughter, or you look into their eyes and you show love and you show affection and you make that connection and you continue that connection. Yes, they make mistakes, but no, they are not a mistake.
Right.
Okay?
And you spend time with them at their level doing things that they like to do, because you need to know who they are. Next.
It's important that you attempt to meet the overall needs of security and safety for your children, that you encourage the child's academic success, that you remain flexible in accommodating the child's interests. And sometimes that's difficult, especially as the kids get into their teens. It stretches the parents thin, and to work together, co-parenting, you sometimes have to find yourself making time in your busy schedule to do what's good for the kids, and that flexibility is sometimes very difficult.
And sometimes it means changing and altering your busy schedule.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then finally, it's important that as you're meeting the successful idea of a co-parent, that you become respectful, cultural, religious, and family traditions. We've seen some families where we had a partner who was not very spiritual, not very religious, if you will. They went through the process of divorce. Now that we're co-parenting, but the children had bought into the idea of belonging to a certain congregation, and they really wanted to be a part of that spiritual entity. And yet, it's important with you as a co-parent. You have to validate that. And you may find yourself driving across town to bring your children back to that congregation. It's not personal it's not for you to take it as a personal affront. It's not. It's just their development and their connection with those traditions that they are making the decision. Finally, you need to, wherever possible, maintain those extended family connections.
That's right.
If your partners, parents, grandparents are very involved with those kids, then you may find yourself going to that other side of the family so that the grandparents can see the kids.
Right.
And that's perfectly okay, because those relationships are unique, and yet they're not challenging you in any way or fashion.
Yeah. And then one last point here, the benefits of successful co-parenting actually reduce your own stress as a parent.
Sure.
Because you're not as conflicted, you don't have that emotional intensity going on either, and you kind of settle down and begin to live life.